Well, sorry for the delay. Called technical difficulties, I guess what you call. Josh, you're wearing black too. That's what it was.
It is 9 o'clock, and I can already tell you that this is my day.
It is your day. I know. Trust me. I get it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in a little late. Had a little technical difficulties with the camera.
Okay, I lied. It's 9:09.
Yeah, I get it. I'm sure everybody's waiting for us and they tuned in here and stuff. So sorry about that. Had to switch cameras up a little bit. We'll have to get Gus on figuring out exactly what happened, why we don't have our nice camera we're using the one we use when we're on the road. So everybody, welcome to the show. 316-462-3673. Call-in show. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, batteries. You want to talk about anything in the automobile world, in the racing world, I don't care. We'll take your questions on the call. 316-462-3673. And it comes right to the front desk of the girls. Tell them you want to get patched in the podcast. And Josh, as always, what's in the package?
So we're going to mail it out to you, but it's going to consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at the Big Corner. While we're doing that, we're going to complete a multi-point inspection, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on that vehicle, just making sure that it's geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive yourself $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner. Complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then BG Products Package, which consists of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then 44K for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving.
All right, let's go. Let's get the phones ringing, Josh. It's been a wild week around here. The employee pricing is going crazy. We're selling a lot of cars with that. So if you're looking for a deal right now, jump on our webpage. I got about 99% of them all priced correctly. So talk about a no haggle, no process deal. All I'm going to do is figure out your trade's worth or whatever and go from that part. But great deals there from Ford, putting that out there. And again, Josh and I, when we buy vehicles, we buy them on what we call D plan. This is A plan pricing, which is deeper than D plan. So this is really a huge deal for you. So if you're looking to get in a new car or close to thinking that or whatever, jump on our webpage, mh4.com, and check out all the inventory we have, because I promise you, no one's got more inventory than we got sitting here at the Big Corner.
Yeah. So on this is on 24 models, right?
Okay. So it's on every 24.
Okay.
And it's on every 25 except 25 Super Duty, 25 Expedition, Bronco Raptor, F-150 Raptor, Ranger Raptor, and Dark Horse Mustangs.
So 25s are included in this as well.
Yeah,
okay, very good.
Just the normal models, Expedition, because it's just
just brand new. Yeah,
and then the 25 Super Duties. I'm not sure what their reasoning was on that. Not put the 25 Super Duties in there or not. Maybe
trying to get rid of more of the
24s. I'm hoping that maybe as we progress through this, because it goes through June 2nd. But again, I've seen Ford pull this ahead and take it away sooner too. I've seen that happen before too. But I'm hoping what will happen, we saw enough of this out through this month, and then maybe in May we will see the 25s added to it. We'll see
adding those to it. So what's the most number of 24s that's still out there as far as model line?
F-150 Super Duties.
Yeah.
And then Bronco's not too far behind there.
Of course, F-150 there's just a lot of them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, exactly. So anyway, so that's employee pricing. Don't forget about that, and let us see if we can help you. If you want to see what your car's, what that A-plan price is, just jump on our webpage. It's got it right there from that part too. Anyway, Josh, what's been happening in the shop? What's been any exciting there?
Definitely been a busy week for us on the service side of things. So today is the last day of our works rebate that we have going on. So it's $25 off. So if you haven't had a chance to take advantage of that and have the opportunity, definitely take advantage of that today. I mean, when you talk $64.95 already, and then you're getting $25 back on that.
That's the last day today, isn't it?
Today is the last day. That's a huge advantage or huge percentage as far as back to the consumer. So went over very well. Had a lot of people that they needed they needed service anyways. And then just I view that as kind of like the Ford Pass program, that anytime you can tell somebody, hey, we're going to take care of this to you today, or give you a rebate that they otherwise weren't expecting, it's always a good thing for sure. So that's kept us moving for sure on the works rebate side of things. And then had a conversation with well, one of our guys, and we're trying to get some fleet customer, or them coming in, and there's a fleet organizer for this company specifically, and they're trying to say, hey, when we go through and do the multi-point inspections on stuff, not to mention something. And I'm having a hard time stomaching that from the aspect of, the vehicle when it comes in. And I bring this up to just kind of talk about the multi-point inspection, and what the reasoning behind that process is. And as a consumer, you have the right to decline or accept anything that's recommended to you. And there's enough service work out there that I don't want anybody recommending something that is not needed on a vehicle. That's not what we're here about. This industry has enough black eyes on it, from people trying to lie, cheat, or steal somebody out of something. That's not who we are. That's not what I want to represent or be a part of, for sure. But on the flip side of that, it's our due diligence to tell you what your car needs each and every time.
Yeah, and it's your decision what you want to do. But it's kind of like going to the doctor. If he doesn't recommend things to you or whatever, guess what? And I'll give you the best example I can give you on another scenario. Was I went to the pharmacy, and all of a sudden today I get, not today, yesterday, when I pick it up, there's an orange sheet attached to my prescriptions, and it's recommendations of other things that I should have, from shots and different things and stuff. So I sold two things. One, I thought, hey, that's pretty cool. And so I hate to tell you, I took that sheet and sent it to my doc and said, hey, what do you think of this?
What's the deal here?
But number two, I started thinking about it for a minute. I kind of like that, to kind of, because I'm kind of one of those health nuts. So I probably take too many supplements, because I'm trying to take care of myself a little bit, sometimes and sometimes not. Okay. But the second thing I thought of was, why all of a sudden is it now? Why haven't they offered that to me before? So that goes back to the multi-point inspection, is doing it every time it comes in, so you can watch your tires. You can see your tread wear and see what's happening. Watch your brakes and that sort of thing, and know and be able to plan for things from that part. Now, granted, my doc did say, yes, that all looks good. Do it. Okay. But I'm still flabbergasted at why all of a sudden.
Why are we just now recommending that?
Yeah, why not sooner?
And from the pharmacy standpoint, maybe as a new program that they got,
it could be,
or,
it could be
something along those lines, for sure.
That's why I was trying to bring up, is that's why we need to do that multi-point inspection every 5,000 miles.
Sure.
And it's like yesterday, I ran into a lady and at her business, and she just bought an Expedition from us, and I said, hey, have you had it serviced yet? So I said, of course, one of my things I always done, why I do it. How many miles you got on already?
Yeah.
She's got 7,000 miles on. So that's cool. I said, have you had it serviced yet? She goes, no, the light hasn't come on yet. I said, ignore that light. I said, if you want to look at that light, watch the percentage. When it hits 50%, let's change that oil. Okay. So anyway, we're going to go pick it up and get her service and everything else too. But it goes back to, we've went 7,000 miles and not touched that car. Again, I know they can do it because they've done it.
Yeah.
But again, that's why it's crucial every 5 months or 5,000 miles to get these cars in here and let a certified tech kind of go through them. And now it's only $39.95 today, and Monday it's going to go back up to $64.
Yeah,
from that part. So
and then Leonard brings up a great point while we're talking about service intervals and stuff like that. So he put on the chat line here, said would like to know more few things about the Mach-E maintenance.
I'd love to talk about that.
So when you take that, I really do think that as an average consumer, like I think that's what's ingrained in people. And there's the window sticker, that a lot of service places use with the date and time or the mileage that, it's next due. But that outside of the oil change, like there's really no standardized real knowledge of a maintenance program, right? But everybody for the most part knows they need to change their oil. Now, intervals, and everybody kind of does different things, or waits on a light, or drives it till it has a problem and then we change the oil or something along those lines. But when you get to the Mach-E or any electric vehicle of that part, like that's gone. But that doesn't mean that vehicle doesn't need to.
Well, really, all you're missing is an oil change, if you think about it.
Yeah.
You still got to rotate the tires.
But I guess my point to that, though, is the average consumer, the only thing they really think of is an oil change, right?
That's all they know. Because in the owner's manual, what's it got in there? That's your minimum. Remember, I've said this many, many times. That's the minimum Ford or any manufacturer wants you to do to your car. Not the maximum, but that's the minimum. And remember that every manufacturer, I don't care what manufacturer it is, what do they care about? To get you through the warranty period, because they don't care how long it lasts after that, because they want to sell you another one and they want to sell you more parts. Yeah. They're worried through the warranty period. So you can use that owner's manual as a guide, but you still need to, Josh's driving habits and my driving habits are, well, of course, we're kind of about the same there. We're WFO all the time wherever we go. But again, how you drive, what you do, what you tow, what you don't tow, how long you're driving, these intervals, how short of intervals you have. Everybody's things changes for what you need to do and how you need to maintain that car. And that's why you need to let us sit down with you and do a multi-point inspection and sit down with one of our advisors and plan a maintenance schedule that's best suited for your driving habits. And we can learn your driving habits as we go through the process. If we do that multi-point inspection each and every time, checking the fluids, watching the tires, watching the brakes, finding little things when it happens too. So crucial part of that multi-point inspection. Now it's back up. Rex Stigero says it looks like we're a little black and white today.
Yeah.
We're on a new camera. We're on an old camera. Our new camera kind of blew up on us, Rex. So that's why we kind of look a little different today.
Well, Rex, we're here. And so we've got voices for radio anyways, or faces for radio, I think is what how that goes. I've ruined that too.
Kevin Bloom, I do walk around my car when I'm getting gas. Hey, that's a good point. I never thought of that.
And then the flip side of that too is, and we run into this, quite a bit. So we've got these alignment check machines, right? So as you pull a vehicle into the service drive, it goes through and it does several different things. So right off the bat it checks the alignment on the vehicle. It checks the tread depth on all 4 tires. It grabs the tag number and then runs that VIN against any open recalls that may be out there. But then it's also taking images of the vehicle as it pulls in.
Right.
And then, in a lot of cases, so that's for 2 things. One, as a customer, like I don't want you leaving with any damage that you didn't have when the vehicle got here, right? Like it's not fair. Right's right and wrong's wrong. But then the flip side of that is because of Kevin's point, like there's a lot of people that have no idea what the passenger side of their vehicle looks like.
True. Very true.
And so maybe you were at Walmart before or a store a week before and got a door ding or a dent or a scratch and just out of habit, you go to the driver's door, you get in. A lot of times if there's not anybody getting in and out of the passenger door, you just don't see that side of the car a whole lot. And so after service, when you drop the car off with somebody or leave it with somebody, I think it is, you pay a lot more attention to what that looks like afterwards, but not a whole lot of what it looked like before going into service. And there has been instances where, we've said that, hey, this has happened with you guys. And then you pull up the camera and boom, 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 there it is. And it's just, I don't think anybody did it intentionally. It's just the fact that you just don't pay a whole lot of attention to the passenger side of your car. And so I think 100%. that's a great idea, is to just do a walk around every time you get fuel, for sure.
Yep. Hey, 316-462-3673. It's number to call in. It's a call-in show. Anything ailing your car, tires, brakes, battery, you get a great package valued over $130. Anyway, morning, Jeff Daniel. Happy Easter. Morning, Jeremy Kane. Got a few people watching on live here too, so got all the questions answered up, I think so. And again, once again, sorry for the delay getting logged in today with our technical difficulties with our camera. And that's why Rex Stigero picks up. We look a little black and white tonight.
Is he back from Virginia?
Tim.
Oh, yeah.
Tim is not back yet. I think he gets back. I can't remember what he told me. The 28th, I think. Something like that. When he gets back, we'll have to get a recap of that road trip with all the fuel mileage, electric, and all that kind of stuff that he's got going on with that truck. So it'll be very cool to get some stats on that truck too when it gets back here. So when he gets back, so
as far as maintenance on a Mach-E, obviously tire rotations are huge. The other side of that is, and again, they use a softer compound tire on the electric vehicles just so they don't make as much noise, right? So you don't have the
Less
power
rolling resistance too.
The other side of that is, and I think we both have stories or scenarios
yeah.
where you replace a set of tires and now I'm not getting as good a fuel economy. There
Yep.
is that is a specification for a tire is weight, right? Like
Sure.
the weight of the tire, and then obviously the amount of contact that tire has with the road is going to equal drag, which then would decrease the fuel economy, or in an electric vehicle case, the range of a vehicle as well. And so that's definitely something, when you're going to replace tires in a EV. There's more that goes into that, right, than just the size of the tire.
That's very true. Very true. So my story I have with that's way back when Honda came out with their hybrid vehicle. And one of my guys that I sold a lot of trucks to, he said, I'm gonna get one.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm driving this big truck everywhere I go. He said, so in turn, if I just drive this car, I'll save a ton of fuel. And I said, hey, great idea. So we bought one. It's back then they were getting like 35 miles to the gallon. And he's a Michelin fan like me. So he wore out the first set of tires. And he said, I got to have Michelins on this car. I said, I get it. So I matched up the Michelin that matched the specifications, everything for the car. Took 15 miles to the gallon out of the car. Okay.
It's crazy to think about that.
So went back and flipped them out, put that other, I don't remember the manufacturer of it was. I was thinking that it was a Goodyear, but I can't remember that because it's been sent many years ago, but put them back on and guess what? Fuel mileage went right back up. So that's crucial when you're purchasing tires. It's not just the size of the tire or the from that part. Look on the door; it'll have your speed rating and weight rating, size, and specifications that we need to put back on that car to make everything drive the way it does. Just got a little checks from Tim. So currently averaging 19.5 miles to the gallon. He's been running for 30 hours and 9 minutes and 49 seconds. And 1,438 miles total and 206 miles on electric. So not too shabby. And he's got 549 miles to E. So I don't know if he's on the way back. Maybe he's on his way back. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, so the percentage of that I think is pretty good. If you only went a total of like 1,400 miles and 200 of that has been electric.
Yeah,
that's a pretty high percentage for sure.
It is.
Anyways,
for everybody we're talking to, this is Tim, one of our customers, and him and his son both have 24 F-150 hybrids, and that's what we're watching. Tim loves to drive, doesn't like to fly, so when he goes back home to Virginia, I think he told me it's a 22 hour trip.
I just can't seem to think. I'm almost positive that's what they made planes for. I'm almost positive when they were sitting
when he gets
there,
back, you try to convince him of that, will you?
When they were sitting there like drawing them up on the whiteboard and thinking of like,
yeah,
I think that's the trip they had in mind for that. I don't know.
You're not sure.
Yeah. I just can't think of any other good reason other than that one for one of those things. But hey, I get it. I don't know. I
got another funny text.
Did you?
Yeah. Someone says when he only drives 45 mile an hour, where you can do that.
I will say that there is probably that's got to aid in the numbers if you're only going to drive 45. So for sure. I remember so on EV tires, I remember the first tire that we disassembled, and it was foam lined inside of the tire. We pulled one of them off. And I was like, "What the heck is this?" And then they did it to, they lined the inside of those tires with a foam to absorb the road noise of the tire. And then when you're sitting there and you're trying to think, okay, well, now how's that balance and stuff like that, makes all the difference in the world as far as noise, though, went on the vehicle to put that foam in there.
Yeah.
Do you think those tires, so you see them on like implements and mowers and stuff like that, that there's no air in them, so basically it's just
got that webbing through them or whatever?
a webbing through it. Do you think that'll ever hit the automotive industry?
No.
Really?
I don't think it will. I don't know how they can control that on a patch. I get how they control it on a mower and that sort of thing, running around in the yard.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how they're ever going to control that on a pasture car. Next thing is just like an impact and a crash study and stuff like that. What would that do?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and to say never, I don't know. That's a long time. I've seen a lot of different. You watch Shark Tank or something like that, and you see the strollers with the wheels that are like
Oh yeah,
all kind of Z shaped or whatever, and supposed to give you like less rolling resistance and stuff like that. And I just think anytime I see something like that, I was like, oh, okay, well, how does that maybe apply to the auto industry? And is that something that you would end up seeing one day? And just to be different or a change for sure. But the tire's been around for many years. It's always been round and black and took air. So
yeah. And what I'm saying there is just like a crash test. How do they hold up? How do they hold up cornering?
yeah,
I don't know. It just seems.
the cornering I think would be
And then
a
I guess
huge
the next
thing
thing
for
is really
sure.
cost.
Yeah,
You know.
they've got the process refined so much now in what they have. Like it would take something earth shaking to do something different, I guess. I
Mhm.
suppose if you ever come along like a commodity restraint or something like that, and they had to think outside of the box to overcome that. But yeah,
Yeah, I get that too. Anyway, so I don't know who knows with way things move and way that kind of thing. Um, the way technology is, the way things are changing and stuff. Who knows? You might see it, but I don't think you'll see it. I'm going to put it this way: I bet you in my
not in our
lifetime, not.
lifetime. Yeah. So, do you think you'll see a flying vehicle before you see?
uh,
Think of like your mom or uh, dad, the
oh,
changes that happen, in their lifetime.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like,
shit! I still remember back when disc brakes come out on the front, and everybody freaked out how terrible
yeah,
that was going to be and everything else, And then I remember we went to got rid of the points and went to electronic ignition. Oh my God! End of the world's coming to an end. This
yeah,
ain't going to work. It's just fab. It's not going to be there very long. Then they came out with the electronic ignitions to get rid of to retrofit the distributors to get rid of the points and retrofit that back, and that so that just kept going. Then here come the catalytic converters in '75. Then we had those test tubes. We were yanking them things out of there as fast as we could yank them out because it was legal. Then all of a sudden it wasn't legal. So that sort of thing too. Um,
So when the when fuel like got crazy and they were, and that's happened a couple of different times. They were even kind of budgeting out when you could get fuel and stuff like that. What's the mechanically what was the main thing people were doing to, I guess, trying to save more fuel? I would say converters, probably ripping converters out of stuff, right?
oh, and then the air pumps, taking the air
Oh
pumps,
yeah, the air pumps
taking the air
definitely.
pumps off
And
and
then
stuff.
plugs, I'm sure, everybody was trying to put plugs in all the time to
Yeah, yeah, jacking around with timing, on ignition timing, stuff like that too. Oh, and the other one was flipping the air cleaner lid over.
oh, yeah.
Sure sounded good.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounded better. I don't know. Well, and then you probably got less fuel economy because it sounded better, right?
Yeah,
Get a cold air box in one of these newer vehicles, and again, I don't think really it does a whole lot for you performance wise, but
it just
makes
sounds
it
good. It
sound
sounds
different.
like you're doing
Yeah,
something, but if you don't change the exhaust coming out the back, guess what?
yeah.
Nothing's changing because you're not letting it can't breathe any better from that part. Um, Greg Murray, the tires haven't always been black. They used to be whitish. They had big white
Oh,
walls
like the
on them.
white walls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They used to have some big white walls.
yeah. Next one's for you, for sure.
Nice try, Rex.
Where's he at age wise? Do you know?
I think Rex is just, I don't know, Rex. Rex, I'm 60. What are you? Are you 50? I think maybe. I'm going to put that in there. Yeah, you're funny, Rex. What was it like to switch from rubber tires? We got another guy like that's kind of funny around here, too.
Uh-huh. Surprised he ain't piped up.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I'm trying to text a couple things here going.
No, you're fine. Again, this is the last day for the works rebate. So if you get the advantage or can take advantage of that, by all means, please do so. It's $25 mail-in rebate. You can't beat that on a $64.95 service for sure. So
Not
but
at all.
he's not going to say, he's just way younger.
Not going to spit it out, are you, Rex? I did. I spit mine out. I'm 60, okay? No, the tires were all white. They added carbon black to change the color and added durability. How long ago was the tires white, Greg? I'd like to know that one. I don't remember them being all white.
That's interesting. Well, and then what was it? General there for a little while did like a raised red lettering on the side of the tire.
Well, then it had back in the 70s too. You had a red stripe sidewall instead of a white wall. It was red.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Remember those quite well. My dad had set of those on the old Chevelle.
So would you do white block lettered, or black sidewall tire?
I'm a white letter fan, just like that.
I know,
chrome, baby.
I know, me too. And
chrome, or go home.
So I was talking with somebody the other day on, like a
1910. He says, okay, I could be Rex. I'm not that old, so yeah, Greg. He's a history teacher, so that's why. I get it, Greg.
The other day I was having the discussion with somebody in regards to, okay, if you get a set of tires that have white letters on them, or even a raised outline white letter, no matter how you mount those tires, like it seems like you would do it the wrong way, right? As far as what the consumer would want. But for me, I would always want them out. I always think it kind of breaks up the tire, the sidewall of the tire, but that's definitely an opinion thing for sure. BFG had those. Oh yeah, see, another white letter out. That's 3. We're winning. What?
Yeah, I get exactly. BFG had those Scorcher TA colored tread. I remember that too. And then they had that for a while. I think it was in when you had the color tread and you did a burnout.
That's what I was going to say.
It was the color of the whatever you had. There was blue, there was red. I think there was yellow too. I think.
Huh?
History teacher. How many colors were there?
And another white letter's out.
Exactly, Rex. Come on, Rex. How old are you? Josh wants to know. I don't care, but Josh is just worried to death.
No, I'm not. I just I think he's not saying because the accusations that he's throwing out are maybe a little close to home, and that's what
yeah, it could be.
Would assume that. Don't know.
Yeah, could be. So hey, anyway, Josh just talked about the $25 rebate. The other thing is, like we talked about, if you just tune it in, the employee pricing, it's on our website. If anything you want to look at there, that's a great deal. It's probably the best deal I've seen in a long time what Ford's put out there for you as a consumer. And like I said, when us employees here at Mel Hambelton Ford buy cars, we buy it what we call D plan. This pricing is at A plan, which is deeper than that from that part too. So it's a great, blue, red, and yellow. That's what I thought. And they did colored burnouts too. And then when I finally found out about it and everything else, I couldn't find any of those tires. They were all gone. They were not they're around very long from that part. So anyway, so the $25 rebate, the employee pricing. So don't miss out on that. Jump on the webpage. About 99% of everything's got the pricing on there for you. So you can see right away kind of how much deep of a discount you got. The next thing I got for us is Salt City Racing. We might as well talk about that a little bit. Went over to Pizza Ranch last Tuesday and handed out a bunch of kids tickets because it's also Pizza Ranch's Kids Day. Kids, they eat free from 4:30 to 8. We took some race cars over there and had a blast over there. We're going to do it again this Tuesday. Got 3 different race cars going to be over there.
Oh, that's an every Tuesday deal. The kids
every Tuesday,
really?
Pizza Ranch. So yeah,
and it's 4:30 to 8.
4:30 to 8.
Do I look like a kid?
Man, this old boy walking in there. I'm 12. I said 12 what?
12 times what?
From that part. So we'll be back over there again at Pizza Ranch next Tuesday. Let's talk about Salt City. Our kickoff race is next Friday with the Heartland Modified Touring Series and the URS Rebel Sprint Car, 305 Sprint Cars. So 2 top tiering classes to kick the season off. Going to be a blast. Don't miss it. Get you a friend. Get everybody to come over. So go back to the Pizza Ranch again if you got some kids. 12 and under, eat free, and we're going to give tickets away for every kid that comes through that door at Pizza Ranch too to get in free. And also, Friday night from 5:30 to 6:30, and down in front of the grandstands, we're going to have a touch a truck event for all the kids to come down. I've got equipment coming from Apex Shears. They're going to bring some stuff over. The SWAT team's coming, the fire department's coming, the police is coming, ambulance is coming. National Guard's going to have a display of some things on there for you. But Can Equip, who's one of our big sponsors, is bringing a big tractor to put down there for the kids to hang on. Murphy Tractor and Equipment is going to bring out something too to have them kids play around on stuff too, so the kids can have some fun, and also kids get in to $12, 12 and under. But if you want to get a free ticket, get to Pizza Ranch on Tuesday, and you can get a free ticket to get the kids 12 and under in free, and also eat free. Can't beat that deal, right?
Very good. Yeah, very good
for that part. So don't miss the opening race Friday night at Salt City at the fairgrounds. Gates will open at 5, pits open at 3, and hot laps will be about 6:15 to 6:30, depending on the track prep and that sort of thing too. Races kick off at 7 o'clock, and it should be a blast with the Heartland Modified Touring Series running around there with their cars and stuff too. So don't miss the situation there too. A lot of fun. So Josh, what else we got, buddy?
Just one of those things that summer's starting to approach, and definitely AC is going to be a hot topic, no pun intended, on that side of things. Thursday it was what, 90, 94, 95, gave us a little bit of taste of what's to come for sure. So if that's something that needs to be addressed, we need to get you on the schedule now for sure. And it's one of those things that doing an AC service on your vehicle annually is one of the best things for the system itself, but then also just assure that it's ready to go, right? Because it is coming, and there's not going to be a whole lot we're going to be able to do about it to slow it down.
And just remember, your AC system, the compressor itself is like a motor, and it needs oil. If you want to keep it running a long, long time. And I remember you used to put compressors on $40, $50, $60 back in the day. Now they're thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So you need to service that AC system to maintain it, just like you turn your engine, your transmission, your drive line, stuff like that too. And once your service, in my opinion, is the right thing to do for that thing to keep it well maintained. And like back in, again, my day, we would put 5 to 6 pounds of Freon in cars. So a half a pound one way or the other really would make that much difference, but it still picked up the oil in the system. The Freon takes it through there. Now these systems are holding like 1 pound.
Yeah. So, we went from obviously R12 to R134A, and now we're 1234YF, which sounds like a made up number, but the amount of refrigerant that they take each time is, like I said, R12 system would easily hold 3, 4, 5 pounds in it, and 134A, it would be 2, 3 potentially, and this 1234YF, it's a rather expensive refrigerant, but it does not take very much at all as far as in that system, and it in those cases, losing the capacity or the volume that you are, it just takes it. It needs to be recharged that much sooner, just because a little bit is a lot more.
Yeah, and if it goes, and again, the machines we have to use to make sure it's accurate to put that right amount of Freon in. We're measuring now to the 10th of a pound instead of back in the day. We were putting Freon back on the R12 days. We just watched the pressures. As soon as the pressure got where it is, boom, we were done. We didn't really know that. Not today. That doesn't work that way. You've got to have it to the 10th of the ounce, right, to make it. Rex brings up another good, clean the condenser.
Yeah.
It's the first thing in front of the radiator. It takes the first beating of everything in there too, and be able to get that air through that condenser is critical.
Well, not only for your AC system, but for the rest of the cooling system of the car, right? Because if for whatever reason it's plugged up, or fins are folded over, or then the radiator can't breathe, or the fan can't draw the air through that vehicle like it needs to. And so, especially on these roads, in Kansas with the dust, and I mean, the wind was blowing. Seemed like crazy the other day, and there was just dust everywhere. And I mean, you got to drive through it, right? That stuff has to go somewhere, and it just plugs up those condensers and radiators for sure. And if it can't breathe, then it's not going to be able to dissipate the heat like it needs to. And then alongside with that comes, the evaporator inside the vehicle, and a cabin air filter for sure. Before we kind of get into that, one of the things on these newer vehicles, a lot of people don't even know it, but they have active grille shutters. And so basically it's an electrical system that's in front, but basically they're fins that control airflow of the vehicle depending upon temperature, but it's mainly doing it for fuel efficiency and how the air flows across the car, which is absolutely crazy to think of something out in front of the vehicle that is basically shutting off airflow to a condenser or radiator based on, what the vehicle needs are. But the amount of technology that goes into something as simple as, something as simple as that, from the manufacturer standpoint, they're looking to gain 2 or 3 more tenths a gallon. But the average consumer doesn't even know that that's there.
No,
Along with like the interactive air dams now that they have that will
in front of the
actually,
trucks.
that will actually lower down as you're going down the highway. Again, just to gain a little more fuel economy.
Yep, exactly. So I got to back up about 10 minutes in the show. We're talking about driving versus flying.
Okay.
And Tim says 19 hours, 1,240 miles. You tell Cal that other than the Gulfstream, nothing is comfortable as my 24.
I could deal with a little bit of uncomfortable for a reduction of, I'm going to say 18 hours, maybe.
Yeah, I guess that's why they make roads too, right, Josh?
Yep.
I'm going to tell you that I know Tim loves to drive.
Well-
I'm going to do that too, but I'm getting in a plane.
Well, from our perspective, though, or his perspective, however you want to look at it, there's probably a lot of countryside that we have missed. You know what I'm saying?
That's
true.
true.
There's a lot of probably cool things or neat things out there that, however, we'll be at home in bed.
Anyway, everybody, we tuned in late because of a camera technical difficulty, so we'll have to get our new camera fixed up and back and running. So sorry for that delay. Sorry we look black and white, as Rex would say, for that part. But let's once again, $25 rebate for the Works package ends today. It's been a great week of time with that package. So if you got the last minute, we're here till 5 o'clock and quickly, and don't miss out on that $25 rebate for your Works package. If you're even close to getting a service, heck, you know what? Changing it up more often is better for your car anyway. From that part. Employee pricing, jump out on our webpage. It's the best pricing I've seen from Ford since I've been with Ford that they've ever done. I've never seen them do this before, but I have seen Ford pull rebates back early, so don't miss that. They say it goes till June 2nd, but let's make sure, look at that. But I promise you, there's not another Ford dealer around that's got the inventory we got, so come check us out with that part too. Yeah, and Kevin says, nothing beats a good road trip. Yep, get that too. Sometimes. Depends what's all going on, what you got on your plate too. I guess sometimes you got to sit back and
smell the roses.
Smell the roses.
Yeah,
right? I get that too. So, anyway, Salt City Racing. We'll be back at Pizza Ranch this Tuesday, 4:30 to 7, with some race cars and handing out free tickets. It's Pizza Ranch's Kids Night, Eat Free, 12 and under. It's every Tuesday from 4:30 to 8 for them. So if you want to get a free ticket for your kid to get into the races, come out to the Pizza Ranch next Tuesday. We'll have 3 different race cars on staff for you. We did it last Tuesday, had a blast out there hanging out with the kids and getting the kids pictures and getting them in the cars and that kind of thing too. So head over to the Pizza Ranch next Tuesday, 4:30 to 7 to get the free tickets and get your free food for your kids 12 and under. Salt City Racing kicks off next Friday at Salt City Racing at the fairgrounds. We'll start gates open at 5. It's a kids touch event. We're got all kinds of vehicles coming down there for kids to play with. SWAT teams coming, family ambulance, fire, police. Canaquist bringing a big tractor. Alan Samuels is bringing a couple lifted trucks. All kinds of neat stuff for us to bring. So get something out there and come see us at the races, and let's keep this racetrack alive over there that we saved. It's going to be a great time with the Heartland Modified Touring Series. It's probably the fastest growing modifieds series I've seen in the country. They got some great competition with some great drivers and stuff, and USMTS is off, so I think a lot of the USMTS guys are coming too, so that'll be fun. And we're having the URSS Rebel Sprint Cars. 305 sprint cars coming along. Those 2 classes will kick off the event from that. And then we'll skip off a week and we're back in with next weekend, May 9th, I believe, and to help that out too. So
very good.
Anyway, anything else, Josh?
Like I said, just take advantage of this Works package for sure if it ends today. So roll that crown.
Got some more questions coming up.
Yeah, so says his son, this is Kevin, says his son and him rolled a Crown Vic to LA last year for Thanksgiving. That a Crown Vic, that would wide body.
Rolled a Crown
Well,
Vic.
I think he
Rolled
just
in
meant
a Crown
drove.
Vic.
Yeah, I think he just means drove it. Yeah.
I got a couple stories in Crown Vics too. We had one just a couple weeks ago.
Here?
Yeah, you and I did.
Oh, well, yeah. got some pictures of it too.
We went to BTI's open house.
We would not be rolling it to LA.
No. And into at Great Bend. And so we took the 340 and flew over there real quick. And we took the airport's shuttle car.
Mm-hmm.
She's a little rough.
There is a market for retired police cars, and that's where they go. Is the
airport
courtesy cars, the city-run airport courtesy cars. That's pretty common for sure.
It was kind of funny. We rolled in, the parking lot's packed, and rolled in. People were just looking at us. And I just stepped out and said, "Boy, we roll in style, don't we?" So that old police car was a little rough.
Yeah.
But and it was the next police car. There's no doubt.
But it got us from where we needed to go to back to where we needed to go.
I didn't know if that rear end was going to hang in there much more though. By the time we got back. So, hey everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great Saturday. Happy Easter, everybody, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday, Salt City Racing, and next Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Everybody, have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.